Chama imerudi. Chama imerudi. Tuko na chama. Hebu simama waonyeshe tuko na chama hapa Nairobi, tuko na chama.
We were taught by our fathers that the place of women was in the kitchen.
Sifuna is angry, and he has every right to be, because for years we believed in a name, a powerful name.
Mimi Raila Amolo Odingas.
A name that was supposed to stand for struggle, for sacrifice, for the common mwananchi.
Raila literally had the power to make or break this country. He told them, pick up arms, go to the streets, take over parliament, take over state house. They would have laid their lives for him.
But today, that name is starting to look very, very different, because what we are witnessing right now with Winnie Odinga might just confirm what many people have been afraid to say, that this was never really about the people, that it was always about the stomach.
Majamaa mimi amenibulanda. Unasikia sasa hivi ni Odinga anapiga mkutano na nani? Oburu Odinga na hiyo team ya underground ya ODM.
And what Sifuna has decided to do as a result is leaving most of us in shock. Let's talk about it. If you love this kind of content, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. Now let's get to the video.
Heri. Lakini kama mimi naenda salimu watu wangu. Salimu Kenya, mimi nakufa, lakini mimi nakufa kwa niaba ya Wakenya.
Let us be honest. When Raila Odinga passed on, many Kenyans believed something, that maybe, just maybe, a new chapter had begun. And at the center of that hope was one person, Winnie Odinga.
Leo nimekuja kuchoma vitisho vya peni mbili, vitanifanya mimi nini? Amnitishi, amnibabaishi.
Because she looked different, she sounded different, she spoke like someone who understood the struggle, not the Raila of handshakes and deals.
Kasonga amejaribu kitu moja tu tangu aingie katika hiyo utawala, kufungua basia, tukaelewa kwamba kumbe Raila ni conman.
But the OG Raila, the one who went to prison, the one who fought, the one who stood for something.
You are in the cells. You know those things you hear in the movies where you hear somebody walk down?
Yeah,
Raila
on the
was
chains
walking,
and the
Raila
doors.
was being walked out of the cells at 3 a.m. And we were told he's going to be hanged.
And for a while, she did everything right. She questioned the system.
I see that what is going on with the people is not necessarily right. Inaweza kuaje watu wa Kibra hawana maji ama stima wiki 3 bana? Viongozi wameenda wapi?
She challenged ODM's internal decisions.
Baba was 1 in a million. Hauwezi copy paste Baba.
She asked why the party couldn't stand on its own in 2027 and actually present its own presidential candidate.
Well, the purpose of a political party is to capture power, all power. So I believe ODM must field the candidate everywhere.
She aligned herself with voices like Edwin Sifuna and Babu Owino, leaders that the young Kenyans were starting to believe in.
Hii chama cha ODM, wale wadozi ambao wako juu, tunawaonya. Sisi sio waoga. Sisi sio watoto.
And therefore we are looking and we are wondering, those that are taking it upon themselves to manage it now, are they capable of managing that relationship?
She looked like the future. Damn, she even felt like the future. And then something happened. Something small, but very telling.
Mama Ida Odinga has officially accepted her nomination as Kenya's permanent representative to the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP.
And just like that, the tone changed.
And ambassador to UNEP?
No, I'm extremely proud of her. Well, the whole family is proud of her.
The fire reduced, the noise disappeared. Even when she appeared publicly, she was no longer the same Winnie that we knew. She had changed.
What Winnie and the mother are doing is trying to blackmail President William Ruto to probably bring them not only into government, but do for them something.
Then came the moment that raised eyebrows. Sifuna's press briefing.
My only crime is that I have refused and I oppose any plans and schemes within the party to support President William Ruto's re-election.
FYI, this was after he was removed as SG. A space full of leaders. She was even given a chance to speak. Guess what? She refused.
Siku yenye Edwin Sifuna alikuwa anaenda kutoa press, ulikuwa hapo lakini ulikataa kuongea.
That silence said everything. Because from the moment on, Winnie Odinga disappeared from spaces that mattered. No more youth meetings, no more Linda Mwananchi movement appearances.
Unajua mimi Winnie Odinga sijai kutrust kwa sababu hata kwa rally zetu, ukujangi.
No more standing with the people she once stood with. Instead, we started seeing something else. Closed door, funny meetings, family alignments, photos with people she once opposed, people like Oburu Odinga, the uncle, and then the final blow. Reports that she was being positioned for a senior party role, to be specific, deputy party leader. Not with the youth, but with the same old political class.
Nimeona umekuwa ndio tena unaambiwa unaenda kupewa party leader. Sisi hatuna shida na hiyo. Sisi ndio Sifuna.
And that's when it hit. This wasn't transformation. This wasn't growth. This was alignment. Alignment with power. Alignment with comfort. With the same system that Kenyans have been fighting. Because suddenly, Winnie was no longer with the people. She was with the politicians. The same politicians that Kenyans don't trust. The same politicians that have been chasing positions and deals and access to power.
Hatuwezi kuwa bila power. Lazima tupate power. Tunataka power. Kama hakuna power, tutatafuta pali pengine iko power.
But maybe this is where we went wrong. We are the ones who went wrong because we tried to compare Winnie to a version of Raila Odinga that no longer exists. We forgot something very important, that Raila Odinga grew up in a different time, a different struggle, a different Kenya. But Winnie was raised up in power. She was raised up in wealth. Damn, the house in Karen I hear is worth more than $1 billion. She was raised in a world where politics was not about survival, but about privilege. And here is the truth that most people don't want to say, that you can't be raised in extreme privilege and truly understand the suffering of ordinary Kenyans. You just can't. Because when survival is not your daily reality, the urgency is different. The priorities are different. And if we are being honest, this is not new. This has always been the pattern. From alliances to handshakes to power sharing deals, the Odinga political story has always found its way back into government, back into power, back into the system. So maybe this wasn't surprising. Maybe this was consistency. Maybe this is exactly what should have been expected. Because at the end of the day, politics in Kenya has never really been about ideology. It has always been about access. Access to power, access to resources, access to opportunity.
You should also know, in case you are wondering, I'm ready to come back home. If you are wondering.
What do you mean you're ready to come back home and you were speaking to the president directly? What were you asking him for?
Kenyans are now left with a very hard question. Were we ever represented by the Odinga family? Or were we just believing in our own fairy tale story? Because if this moment has shown us anything, it is this, that names don't fight for people. Families don't fight for people. Individuals on the other side do. And until Kenyans start choosing individuals over dynasties, this cycle will never end.
Tulikuwa tunafuata familia ya Odinga kwa sababu ya Raila. Lakini Raila alikufa. Sai hakuna mtu mwenye anatuhusu hapo. Hakuna mtu mwenye anatuuzia uoga kwa hiyo familia ya Odinga. Kwanza hata Ida Odinga ulipewa kazi ya ambassador. Ukachukua. Hapo ulitusaliti, tulikuwa tunajua ya kwamba kama uko na sisi ulikuwa unaenda kukataa hiyo kazi, lakini ulichukua hiyo kazi. Sasa Winnie Odinga sasa anacheka, sasa amekuwa endorsed kama ODM delegates, anaenda kupewa party leader. Sisi wacheni waambie hivyo, Oburu Odinga, Winnie Odinga, siji nani Odinga. Hatutaki story ya Odinga. Raila ndiye alikuwa mtu mwenye tulikuwa tunajua, na Raila alikufa. Sasa tunalia tukisema baba rest in peace. Lakini hatujakosa otherwise.
tuko na options mingi sana. Msidhani la kwamba lazima tufuate hiyo familia. Oburu Odinga sasa imekuwa kitu ya familia.
Subscribe.